I asked you and you had to be honest with me, completely open, is there a vacuum or an emptiness in your heart, in your mind, or in your life? Is something missing? What would you say? Question mark. For real. There are things you wanted to do in your life, yet still, here we are, not moving forward.
Jim, would you prefer it?
In contrast, some people are able to self-motivate or to have been blocked enough from the wiles of life to where they weren't stumbled. And life seems to be moving really smooth for them. But yet still, it's all not there. It's not real. It's a facade. It's an imaginary safety net. Are you one of those people? I grew up in the church. I acted and thought I knew what a Christian really was. I did have a problem with judging people, even though I was a young Christian, or I thought I was a Christian. I was president of the youth group. We went from just a handful of kids to a whole bunch. We grew. Kids got saved, and it was great. But my dad died when I was young, and I was 15 in high school and playing football, and I really lost my zeal for life when that happened, including my zeal for God and church, football. Even though I loved my teammates, I just was so caught up in myself. I cared more about what I didn't want to do rather than what I should have done and continued to done. So I sabotaged myself from many things in my life. And we go full circle sometimes. It's the point between when you fall and you get back up where the real decisions are made. There are times that you might be thinking into yourself within your own mind. That is your conscience or your soul or your other person, the logical person, trying to get you to stay in line with what makes sense. And that can be good in some cases, but also can be bad in some cases. And what I mean by that is the simple fact that it takes some type of faith to get out of something that you can't see that you're in. You have to have a focus and something to believe in. And even if that starts within yourself, you got to start to believe in something, because you have to have something to stay focused on to move forward to. You have to have something to look forward to in order to get away from your past. If all of life is about wrong and right, then we need to decide what side we want to be on. But life is about also life and death. And it's about living and dying. And those are not necessarily the same thing, because you can be alive but be living like you're dying. My point is, there's only one person that's in charge of your life. That's you. What direction you want to step in, where you want to go, and who you want to be, all your choices. We're hoping here at Real Life Warriors that we can encourage you and give you just enough energy and maybe enough pick you up to keep you on the path that you're wanting to take to meet your source of light. We try to encourage you to take the path of love, patience, kindness, For things like these, there's no law against. You can't ever do something wrong by always doing something right. Don't let people say, oh, you love to a fault. You can't love to a fault. You may love into getting hurt, but not to a fault. Because love, in the end, is all that really matters. This brings us back to where I was talking about the 3 things I wanted to be revealed to you. The sun, to see with clarity. To see the good things right here, right now, in the moment. The moon, to help you navigate through tough times, because it takes just a little bit of light for us to be able to see in the darkness. And the truth. You got to find the truth out. And you got to find it out first within yourself here and here. And it'll become more clear around you and the path that you want and should take for the source that you choose to love and adore. To keep focused. You get to decide if you want to keep going forward, if you want to stay where you're at, or if you want to live in the past. It's okay to have a rear view mirror when you're driving, just to check out what's going on in the back, where you came from, what's going on behind you. But for the most part, we have to keep our eyes forward. But when you're in the rut, and you know that you're at the bottom of the hill, and if you look back, you fall back, you got to learn to stay focused intensely on what you want. You cannot be denied. You will not be denied. You've been given the power to meet the destiny of your life. You have to choose the path, whether you like it or not. Because life and time continue to move whether we do or not.